I warned you, I'm a combat master. Gang members surrounded her 2 later. Everyone went silent. The sun was already high in the sky when Ariba Khan stepped off the crowded city bus, the heat of the afternoon wrapping around her like a heavy blanket. Daytime in this part of the city was never truly calm. Vendors shouted, rickshaws honked endlessly, and people moved with tired urgency, each carrying invisible burdens. Ariba adjusted the strap of her worn shoulder bag and took a deep breath, grounding herself the way she had learned years ago. To anyone watching, she looked ordinary, just another woman in simple clothes, average height, calm eyes, nothing about her suggesting danger or power. But behind that calm was a past carved by discipline, loss, and survival. She had returned to this neighborhood after many years, not because she wanted to, but because some wounds demanded to be faced. This was the place where her life had split into before and after. The streets looked smaller now, yet heavier with memories. She remembered being young, helpless, watching injustice unfold while people looked away. Back then, fear had controlled her steps. Today, she walked with intention, though her heart still carried scars. She had promised herself long ago that fear would never again decide who she became. As Ariba moved deeper into the street, the atmosphere subtly shifted. The crowd thinned, the shops gave way to shuttered buildings, and the noise softened into something uneasy. She felt it before she saw it, the presence of eyes watching her. Years of training had sharpened her instincts beyond explanation. Her body reacted before her mind could fully process the danger. She slowed her pace slightly, her breathing steady, her shoulders relaxed. Panic would only make her weaker, and she had learned that strength often began with silence. One by one, shadows detached themselves from doorways and corners. A group of men closed in, their confidence fed by numbers and habit. This was their territory, and they were used to people shrinking under their stares. Ariba stopped walking, not out of fear, but out of acceptance. This was the challenge she had known might come. The world often tested those who carried quiet strength, mistaking calm for weakness. The heat, the dust, the stillness of the moment made everything feel suspended in time. Before the tension reached its breaking point, take a moment right here to reflect. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and inner strength that rises from pain, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Soul Syllabus. Your support helps stories like this reach hearts that need them. Ariba's mind drifted briefly to the years she had spent rebuilding herself. After the tragedy that took her family, she had been left hollow, angry, and directionless. Instead of letting the darkness consume her, she chose a harder path. She trained relentlessly, pushing her body beyond exhaustion, learning discipline, control, and respect for power. Combat was never about hurting others for her. It was about mastering fear, about protecting life, especially her own. Each bruise, each failure, each lonely night had shaped her into someone unrecognizable from the frightened girl she once was. Standing there in the bright daylight, surrounded by danger, she felt no hatred. Only clarity. The men around her underestimated the quiet way she held herself, the steadiness of her gaze, the fact that she did not look for escape. They thought strength was loud, aggressive, obvious. They did not understand that true strength often waited patiently, conserving energy, choosing the right moment. The street seemed to hold its breath. 2 seconds passed, then something shifted, not in the air, but within her. The fear that once ruled her life finally loosened its grip completely. In those brief moments, everything she had endured aligned into purpose. Movement followed instinct, precise and controlled. What happened next was not chaos, but efficiency. Each action was deliberate, trained, and final. There was no unnecessary force, no wasted motion. The confidence of the group collapsed as quickly as it had formed. When it ended, silence replaced arrogance. The street, moments ago filled with tension, became eerily calm. Nearby shopkeepers peeked from behind doors. A few distant pedestrians froze, unsure of what they had just witnessed. The men who had surrounded her were no longer threats, only reminders of how wrong assumptions could be. Ariba stood still for a second, letting her heartbeat settle, letting the weight of the moment pass through her rather than stay inside her. She adjusted her bag again and continued walking, not looking back. Victory had never been about standing over others. It was about walking away intact, both physically and emotionally. As she moved toward the main road where life continued as usual, sunlight reflecting off passing cars. She felt something unfamiliar rise in her chest. Relief, not because she had proven her strength, but because she no longer needed to prove anything at all. The rest of the day unfolded quietly. Eriba visited the old community center that had once been her refuge. The walls were faded, the paint chipped, but the memories remained powerful. She donated anonymously, hoping the space would continue to protect other lost children the way it had once protected her spirit. Healing, she had learned, was not about erasing the past, but about transforming pain into purpose. As evening approached, the city softened again. People laughed, vendors closed their stalls, and the same streets that had once felt threatening now felt neutral, almost gentle. Eriba blended into the crowd, just another face among many, exactly how she preferred it. Strength did not need an audience, courage did not need applause. If this story has touched your heart even a little, if it reminded you that quiet resilience can overcome even the darkest moments, please engage with this video. Your likes, comments, and shares help spread messages of hope to those who might be standing at their own breaking point. And before this story ends, I have one special request for you. Comment below with the word strength. If you believe that real power comes from healing, not hatred, Eriba's story was never meant to be extraordinary. It was meant to be real, a reminder that survival can turn into purpose, that fear can be trained into focus, and that even in the harsh light of day, courage can rise quietly and change everything.